Alright, so here's the Neo 2 beta. Last chance. So I've gone through it for a little bit. I think it's pretty good. I don't think there's a huge difference in the how the game feels. I usually use the katana, but it feels like there's just a little bit of a delay in there. But let's go ahead and get an idea for how it moves. Yeah, we got the character customizer. Now, when it comes to character customizer, usually I always pick females. They usually have cooler options. That's not always the case, but why not? I did this for the other versions, like the alpha and the beta when that also came out. Now, here's a couple cool things I think you can do, like right off the gate. So let's go, let's just go generic lady number 1. Easy. Now, what I like is that when we get into this, skin type, it's just skin, nothing crazy, just the tone. Easy peasy. Let's go with I'm still in the middle of becoming a demon, so I'm not quite as made up as I usually am. Face, of course, you got your face presets. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this because from the alpha it didn't save, and I doubt from the beta it's going to save. You got your forehead depth, all the weird stuff. I'm not going to play with it. I like what we got right now, but let's see what we got. So aging, yep, that's as old as we're getting. Let's get like a little old. Eyebrows, eyebrow type, easy peasy. What do we got? I think it's great how in the Japanese games it always has the 2 dots. Like, here we go, just dotting it up. Let's get the Kazuya from let's get the Tekken eyebrows. Just the real aggressive, getting in there, getting the job done. Okay, that's about as close as Tekken eyebrows as I'm gonna get between these two. Yep. I the density. I don't want them too dense. These are some serious eyebrows going on here. The thickness, let's dial it back. I'm still a lady. Not that I'm saying that if you got thick eyebrows, you ain't a lady. I'm just saying these are some really intense Kazuya Mishima eyebrows that we're going for. So we're going for something a little bit more. Oh, snap. Let's see what we got here. Eye appearance, yeah. Matching eyes, yeah, let's make it easy. I like those ones. I thought those ones were pretty sweet. We got these ones, of course, the little cat eyes, but we're going here. Easy. Iris type. Yeah. Okay. Kinda spooky. Tiny pupils. I like the color. I'm keeping it. Nose. I have one of those. Here we go. Done. Yeah, we're just going, not that one. Let's keep it nice and samey. Mouth. No doubt. Now, I have this thing about big mouths. When I was a child, I watched Fright Night, and it terrified me. So all mouths have to be just a little smaller than the preset, because if they're not, it'll spook me. Ears preset. Let's see what we got here. Yay, why not? Facial markings. Now here's the thing. You got your moles, you got your overall face tattoos, you got your scars. Yep. You got your kabuki options. Now I feel like there's gonna be a bunch of kabuki things out there. It's just a general feeling like, oh my god, kabukis. Give me some of those. And everyone's gonna come in with the kabukis, which is fine. Me personally, I don't want a kabuki. But what I will do is, of course, like everyone's gotta do, have an eye patch. You would monocle it, but we're not gonna do it. I thought the eye patch on Jahudun from Dynasty Warriors, I was all about it when I was younger. So now every created character gets an eye patch. It's just fair. So here's what I was talking about, the hair. When you go to hairstyle, you can go base hair, and you can actually change, whoa! You can actually change what you're working with here, which is pretty cool. So we're gonna go base hair. I'm just gonna keep it. But when you go bangs, you can switch those out too. So this kind of gives you a lot of freedom in just your general created character hair. And I haven't really seen it in too many games. I think the last one I really saw it in that stood out to me was Code Vein. And that one, as we all know, if you played it, it was definitely like Anime Souls. And you had a lot of freedom customizing your character, except oddly enough, in, your clothing, which kind of bothered me because it would have been great to not have to wear that jacket all the time. It was kind of a big bummer, but whatevs. So you can change the length. I don't think the length is actually super long because when you're in game, you're viewing your character mostly from here. So the length here doesn't really play a difference. So if you wanted it like the short or the long, that's how it goes. Curliness, of course, it just is a texture. So it doesn't really affect geometry. It's just a noise map, which also works. I don't mind it. I think it's kind of creative. Boom. I got to go with the maroon bands. Facial hair, of course, you can choose your facial hair without a doubt. What? I want small beard, big beard, curly beard. Me personally, I want no beard. Which, if you want the beard on your ladies, that's all you. I won't judge. Makeup, I didn't actually get too much into this one because I was really excited to just kind of get in there. But yeah, I think they definitely have a lot of cool little options that make the character feel more like it's your character. And I really actually appreciate that. Getting, you know what? I don't want to get too crazy. Let's just keep it like normal. What else we got here? Eyelashes. Yeah, I do have some of those. Boop, boop. Those are intense, but not as it really intense when you're on your character. Oh, no. You want eyelashes. Those are an evolutionary trait to keep dust and dirt out and pollen out of those bad boys. So, you really need those. Oh, I gotta get all the pollen out with that 20 length eyelash. Let's just do this. It's allergy season. Things get rough. Lipstick type. Didn't play with that either. I think the line is kind of cool. Yeah, we'll just keep that. Blush. Didn't play with that either. Nope. Tooth paint. No, I don't like that. Not one bit. I'm sure someone might. Hey, I'm a ghost. All right, I know. It's just geisha face paint. It's the whiteout. It's nifty. I think it's kind of cool. What else we got? Body, of course. You got your height. You got everything. Oh, no, what was cool here is that when you see little tabs on the side across the character customizer on the right, if you click X, you can actually change where you want to be kind of like stockier, thinner, things like this, which I thought was really cool because sometimes you're like, you know what? I was born with longer arms than legs, or like my shoulders are thick. I can't help it. Same thing for muscle definition. Maybe you do a lot of push-ups, 0 squats. You're going to be developed in different areas. So that's always pretty cool. Or you can just overall just buff it out if you wanted to, but there's just some things you can play with. Of course, we got that one slider that's only for ladies. It does get a little bit ridiculous, but hey, why not? This is from Ko Shibasawa. I think Koei Tecmo helped do this game also. I didn't actually watch the opening credits. I could always take another look, but they helped make the last one, so they also helped make Dead or Alive. So, those kinds of sliders are going to be important. The voice, I think this one sounds good. Let's hear it. Oh, yeah! Now what you can also do is when you're in there, you can change the pitch, which is really nice. And what I like is that the actual pitch, the modifier, doesn't sound crazy weird. You know how some of them, when you play, if you ever played any like just general anime games where you have the character customizer and you play with the pitch, it actually speeds up the vocals. So it sounds like short little bursts of just noise instead of words. And when you do, oh God, that's a violent death knell. But when you slow it down, it also sounds really big and boomy, but also really slow. So it's nice that they've kind of kept around the same speed and they're not really messing with it too much, which is cool. Now, one thing I really liked here that's been in the alpha and the beta a lot, but finally kind of showed up here, is that your yokai form you can finally change. So horn type, I really like this. What's cool is that later on in the game, you will go into like the danger realms. And you're kind of from the human world into the demon realm, and your main character will get the horns of your selected type. Don't worry, it'll make sense when you see this in a second. I like the crazy hair for the brute. I think that's really cool. The reason I also picked ladies is because I thought their design for their yokai form was really cool. So I was all about that. Of course, you can go in with the hair. Oh, my bad. You can keep kind of the default hair. It'll give you a hair type based off of something similar to what you have. So that's why it's giving me that. But you can override it and make it specific. Colored tips is neat because if I want my tips more red, I can just go in there, make a custom color. You can edit it. You can get crazy nuts. You know everyone's going to be doing the Super Saiyan thing, so why not just jump in? I'm not going to. I'm just going to make it red. There it is. So it's not too insane. It doesn't hurt me. It reminds me of, what's his face? I was going to say Keiji Maeda from Samurai Warriors, but I don't think that's the right character. Mitsunari Ishida, I think, is the one that looks like the J-pop member. Yeah, that's what that reminds me of. When I transform, ooh, you're going to get Mitsunari so hard. And of course, hair curliness. When you transform, you get that noise map, but I don't really like the way it looks, so I'm going to keep it. Feral, you can do the same thing. You can change everything's individual or horn type, which I actually really like because it makes everything look like its own unique transformation, which kind of reminds me a lot of, if you watch some of my other videos, you know I really like Devil May Cry and things like this. So that makes it feel really unique because in DMC 3, when you transformed from Dante from his multiple weapon types, you would have all kinds of cool different transformations, and I really enjoyed just the subtle changes between each one of them. So I think it's pretty nice that we're starting to get things like that in games. Blue, because it's, you know, my main color is blue here, so I'm going to give you some blue. That's the plan. Hair length. Now, you can't affect the bangs and stuff of these ones. It's just overall hair length, which I'm fine with. Phantom, it's got a nifty mask. Horn type. I'm a fan of symmetry when it comes to these things. I don't know why this bothers me, but I'm totally okay with this, but not this. Yeah, it's just a little off, and it bothers me. So we're going to try these. Yeah. But this is overall. We'll do one last one. I want the hair here. I don't know why the bald yokai freaks me out, but something about the back of the head design with the ears bothers me. I don't want the Sindel hair. We just use that. Sure. You know what? Let's do that. And then we'll go color, and then we'll hit this, and then we'll give it, since my main color here is white, we'll go and just give it like a cool blue. A trick here if you're doing like artsy stuff, especially in 3D. What I learned a long time ago is whenever you're doing those kinds of maps, do like a whitish blue, and it makes your blue look your white look kind of nice. I don't know, it was something in the engine I was working in a long time ago. But if you did your white from any other color, it looked like a brown white, and it looked like it was just dirty. This is probably just how it worked. Let's see what we got here. I don't think I can name my character, which is fine. Now, I like the katana, like I said before. I don't really bounce around because, as you'll find out, if you have nowhere to bounce to, you end up in this really weird predicament. of am I strong, am I not? But I'm going to try to find some pretty cool weapons. So we're going to change up a little bit. One of the cooler ones that came out that's for Nioh 2, they had the cool thing called a switchglaive. I think it works really kind of sweet. Peer into the water just lets you remake it. So no worries there if all of a sudden you're like, wow, I really wish I had one left eye blue and one right eye red. You can always go back and change it up if you want to. I feel like this is going to be a spot that we revisit over and over again. I could be wrong, could just be a little intro deal, but you know. Alright, so this is the new one, the switchglaive. The dual hatchets, also new from Nioh 1. Here's just the Tonfa from Nioh 1. If you got the DLC, it was going to be in there. Spear, of course, always a good one. I really like the sword just because, you know, I'm basic like that. So, you know, when in doubt, basic out, I guess. I don't know. So let's go ahead. Let's try the switchglaive. I won't make any promises of being good with it, but I'm going to choose this as a backup weapon, and then we'll switch glaive. Yeah, strong attack. Okay, then we'll do switch glaive for our other one, and we'll switch it up. I know that what's really nifty is that as you move from style to style, or sorry, from stance to stance, you can get the scythe, you can get this small little action, which is pretty cool. And then you can change it to kind of spear Naginata. I really like Naginatas in games, so I'm actually kind of glad they put this in here. I don't like that it's under magic, but hey, I can't complain. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the Guardian Spirits. You got your fire one, the Fierce Wolf. You got Harbor, the Dark Phantasm. Or, of course, you can harbor the Swift Bird. I'm just going to do the Fire Wolf because I like the fire elementals in this game. Oh, and it turns you into a brute. So, what's cool here is when you start, you transform, that lets you use your spirit animal. You can end yokai shift on your own, which is really nice because any gauge you don't use, you can save for later. So if you run into a fight and it seems real difficult, but you just power through it, it really makes it a nice change because you're not committed to using all of your gauge. You just hit it, finish your fight, get the damage, poof, back into normal, and then you're done. Your magical girl transformation is over. Sailor Moon didn't have to stay as a Sailor Scout her entire life or until she was exhausted. She was like, you know what, I beat you, and it's done. So take that. All right, here's your starting point. Real cool little thing you can do as an aside. I've already beaten some things in this, so we're gonna have some things. Oh, you know what? Not really. So you can have your spirit animal next to you, which, you know, in the beginning, you're going to be like, oh, that ain't so bad, but I feel like I'm really going to grow an attachment to this little wolf. So, yeah, we're going to keep it. Oh, and of course, you can go back to character creation. For those of you who don't know, you're kind of like a yokai beast nowadays, so I don't know the full story. I saw the trailer. You get your head pierced with some things, and instead of transforming, you decide to fight the system, and you just do what you gotta do. I always thought it was pretty cool how it lets you view illustrations. I'm doing the air quotes with my fingers because you can view 3D models, but it's still always pretty nice because you get to see what's actually happening. Personally, I love illustrations from a lot of different games. I like art books. I like to see the concept art. I think it's really cool to see what developers have created, especially when you're seeing something from like their past games, their concept art, things like this, or their development process from how a character started to how a character ended. Sorry, I just saw her name was Mumyo, and all I thought of was Mumra. I don't know why. Okay, well, it's close enough, and I'm not cultured, so that's how I thought about Mumra. Yeah. All right. Moving on. He never stopped the Thundercats, but I enjoy how much he tried. Like, he was so dedicated to just being evil. All right, here we go. Now, nothing's really going to surprise me too much because, as you know, spoiler alert, I did beat the other 2 betas. I just wanted to get something so everyone could see it in case you miss it, because what was unfortunate was on the PlayStation Store, it was like, if you weren't checking for demos, you were going to miss this game. And I always thought that's really unfortunate when something cool comes out, especially something like Nioh, Nier Automata. These games, if you weren't always on top of it, you were late to the demo. Or, well, Nier Automata, I think their demo's still up. But for these Nioh ones, you were just late to the timed demo. So I always thought that was really unfortunate. Here you go, my man. You get speared. And we're gonna go try to see how deep we can get in this tree. Sorry, in the not in these 4 swamp trees, but in the in the switchglaive tree. I think that'll work out really well. I know from the last alpha, we had a lot of cool abilities that I really enjoyed, especially when it came to switching from low, medium to high stance. You're gonna notice I'm put a lot into heart, because you can't create Captain Planet without a heart. Actually, it's because when all else fails, then I use my katana. That's what we're gonna fall back to. Plus, the switchglaive is pretty strong compared to the sword, so it's just rough in comparison. Let's see what we got. I want this one because it's fast. Oh, no, not today. So these guys, in case you haven't seen any Nioh gameplay and you've kind of been hiding from it, because I don't want spoilers. These guys replaced the little dwellers from the other ones. The dwellers were the little zombie guys. They're back, which is nice. But these guys, if they munch you enough, they transform into a bigger form, which I thought was pretty cool. It's kind of like the little guys that had the tongues in the last game. So I just never want them to lick me, because this is, you know, Japan in the ancient period, and not everyone's the cleanest. Did you see how you could change your tooth color? I'm not about it. I don't want that tooth pain in my wounds. Yep. No. Yes. Let's see. Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. We're not switching weapons. I've changed my mind. Everything is going into magic. Heart can go ahead and get out. We're respecting the character the minute we have a chance. Oh, that was good. That was a good grapple. Let's grapple someone else. Oh crap. Hold on. I gotta put my bow on. Here's what I always enjoyed was how absurd the bow weapon is right out the gate. I mean, you pop someone right in the head and the entire head pops off. I turned off the head equipment because, well, not all the helmets are the coolest. And, you know, if I had a weird helmet for stats, I didn't really want to have to stare at it the whole time, which, you know, personal preferences. If you like the helmets, more power to you. I'm that one jerk in MMOs who whenever he wears helmets, I go, nah, I made my tips colored on my hair. You're gonna see it. So, you know, even though my hair's jet black in this version, I literally went with the most default character. You're gonna enjoy the flopping of my ponytail in the back the entire time. Just personal opinion. Plus, I have an eye patch. Why would I cover up that? I want to be able to see it from all angles. Alright, so here we go. Still the same thing. What I thought was really cool about this is that some of these right out the gate come with pretty powerful effects, like the ferryman's robes. Sorry. If you have a water attack, which you can get from the Onmyo tree straight out the gate, you can steal health. Like, you get life drain pretty strong. And I was glad they put some kind of, if you're clever enough, you can really start getting some powerful abilities pretty early on. Now me, I'm not clever enough. I've just played the first one for a really long time. So, you know, I just have the life experience, I suppose. And I think that works just fine, except I'm about to get wrecked. No, 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 no. Ooh, as I'm talking, I just got the life experience to get me through this. Not really. Nothing like being a scrub. What I can give you a hint at, though, if this is your first Nioh game, is don't be afraid to try all the weapons, and don't be afraid to try the stances of every weapon, right? Like, I'm gonna break my own rule and just get rid of the sword, and we're gonna try the hatchets. I didn't think they were very unique in the other versions that I played of, like in the alpha. They felt a lot like the dual swords to me, and I'll show you in a second when I get a pair of dual swords. Oh, never mind. They're way different. Oh, no, 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 oh, God, my body. Get off me, Shinji. Get off me. Oh, hey, you know what? I might like these bad boys more than the dual swords. In the first alpha, they didn't really feel too different. I saw them, I used them for a second, and I was like, these are dual swords. I'm out. But yeah, actually, those feel pretty nice. Let's see what the dual swords in comparison are. No, I have the Tonfas. I don't have dual swords yet. Hold on. We'll get them in just a second. Sweet. So, Kodama blessings, same as before. The souls, which is really cool, is what you want to do is you can attune them to different parts of your, like R2 and circle will give you a counter attack. R2 and triangle or R2 and square gives you these new things that are yokai abilities, and you can use them in the middle of your combo, which is really adds a lot of utility. They don't really have my favorite one yet, but it comes up later on, just not in this level, unfortunately. But that's fine. Okay, so the Katana Blessing, I always use the healing one just because I'm a scrub. So, you know, this one right here, they're showing off the one with the hammer, which is my favorite one. Look at this. Oh, you can just crush some dude in the middle of a combo. Just chop, chop, chop. Ooh, get squished. Like, it feels good. Oh, no. I don't like these ladies. You know, I'm just not a fan. Oh, okay. Okay. Giving away my hiding spot. Ooh, get juked. I played Destiny. My KD was 0.3, so, you know, be intimidated. All right, here we go. Let's go this way. Yeah, I don't like the snake ladies. Oh, well, mainly just because, you know, I'm not a fan of it. Here you go. Have a midget. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, get punched. Oh, this ain't going well for me. This is going really rough. This is going pretty bad. I don't like this. Not a fan. Chicken out. Chicken out. Peace out. Okay, there we go. Let's get a quick do-over. Hold on. Let me go, ooh, no. Let's do that just in case. This is always going to be probably my backup. All right. We'll get this lady. Boop. Yep. Get the distance. Oh, no. He saw me. He saw me. He's ready for it. Watch these dodges. Yep. You're not prepared. Be intimate. Oh, did we trade? No. No. No, he got me. He got me. Yep. Whoo, close. Just, head just pops straight off. Okay, here we go. Oh, my body. All right, all right. Nope. Take this. There you go. Let up. Oh, no, no, no. Heal up. Oh, now you're in trouble. Now you're done for. Yeah, here come the moves. You don't want to play with this. Stop it. Immodest. All right. So what we actually need, one of the easiest abilities that you want to kind of get right in the beginning in Samurai is this dodging at a perfect timing will trigger a key pulse. This gets your health back. Sorry, not your health back. Gets your key back really fast. There's one for mid stance, low stance, and high stance. I always get mid stance first because I'm a little bit more defensive than anything else. Even though you're gonna watch me and be like, this guy plays like a jagoff and just goes in all the time. That's fine. Just believe in yourself. Do what you gotta do. No one's gonna judge too harshly. Let's see. Where's the switch? If you don't like the sphere grid, I just have a weakness for the sphere grid because I love Final Fantasy X. You can always push square and find whatever you're looking for. So that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead. I think it's called the Path of 3, or it's right here, right around this switch stance. So we'll take a quick look. Maximum key, I do want that because I am a scrub. Let's go key first, and then we'll get the switch coming up in a second, because that'll let us change by holding down triangle. I hear someone partying. Yeah, I found you. I found you, Charles. Always just hanging out in the brush looking for worms. Always trying to get little grubs. I don't understand you and your off time. Ninja locks. Alright. Now, you want ninja locks because if you're not actually using anything that has ninja skills, you're not going to improve it. And with ninja locks comes the backstab. Comes the backstab. There it is. Yeah. So we're gonna go here. Yep. And there's a lot of key saving things that are really good, but they're found in different trees. So what they changed from Nioh 1 to Nioh 2 is that passives don't come across trees. So in Nioh 1, you could have the axe, you could get points in the axe tree, and then use that to get the passive for like extra health, just in general. And then from there, you could take that, and then you could switch up what you use, like your spear would improve thrusting attacks. You'd get stronger thrusting attacks based off your spear passive. So then when you went to your sword, you'd have upgraded health and stronger thrusting attacks. Now, the way they've worded it, I haven't tested it, but it looks like if you have your sword equipped as your main weapon, you're getting the sword buffs. If it's your switchblade, you're getting the switchblade buffs. You're getting the switchblade buffs. Things like that. That seems to be a little bit more consistent with what they're going for. I don't know in the long run if that's going to be better or worse. I know in the long run for Nioh 1, it made your first playthrough a little easy, but your later playthroughs didn't really suffer from that because the game became pretty difficult where you wanted that free passive, and it worked out really well for people who like min-max. Like, I have a problem. I like min-maxing. So just that change, I go, ah, man, what a bummer. I wish I could min-max and just stare at my stat screen for hours and hours and just debate if I'm making the right choice, and then use my books of reincarnation when I put one single point into the wrong spot. Those were the days. But we'll see what really happens. Alright, we got a new switchglaive. Yes, sir. High attack damage, I don't know. I don't really use either one. Ooh, mid attack key consumption. Folks, you're gonna want to be stacking these. So, sorry, words. What I usually think of is that I try to keep items. If you look here in special effects, it has that little square, hexagon with the little, right underneath that, some squares, arrows, square. Those abilities transfer to other pieces of equipment if you max at the familiarity. Familiarity is this little bar up top. You got your name of the weapon, then familiarity. If you max that out on other weapons, you can just transfer ability straight across. This makes you really strong, really fast. So if you're ever struggling, just turn to your boy Antonius Rex and say, wait a second, didn't you talk about squares and arrows under hexagons and something like that? I'm like, yeah, you know what, Timothy? I did. Here's the recap. Max that familiarity, transfer it over, bada bing, bada boom, you're done. And now you're strong. And then that's about it. You don't have to like thank me or anything. Just put it in your journal. February 29th, 2020, I learned about maxing familiarity and gauges from my boy Antonius Rex. And then, you know, that's all you really need to worry about. I think it's always good to pass along that knowledge, especially when we're all kind of brand new to kind of some new systems. So, what's gonna happen here? These fog bad boys, boy, my blood pressure rises just getting in here. Oh, I hate these things. Oh, I hate the surprise. Here, take that. Yep, hope you enjoy. I don't, nope. Yeah, there it is. Nope. Ooh, close. Let's go that. Jeez. Give me this horn. Give me this horn. Now, since I've been avoiding other weapons aside from the sword, I don't know my combos that give me verticals. So when you're fighting demons, you want to get those horns. Those horns are like your bread and butter. If you want to hit hard moves, you got to get those glowy horns. That's going to be something you're going to look for. Stop it. Stop it. You're just embarrassing yourself now. Ah, that's a shame. All right. Now, my boys who are listening and my ladies who are listening, not like my lady, but like ladies and my dudes. If you get the Kiku Ichimonji, you take that and you put that on. Trust me, later on, you're going to thank me and it's going to change your life. And then there's another one, but I don't remember the name for now. It's also going to change your life if you're using swords. So, you know, those are the ones that I think about. Let's see what we got. Oh, so here we go. We're walking on in. This is how you know you've entered the Shadow Realm, and all of a sudden you're in trouble with Yugi Moto, and you really got to stop Pegasus from trying to take over the world. I'm gonna get my friend Joey Wheeler out of here. Okay, just messing with you. So what you're gonna want to actually do once you start seeing your antlers, your horns, whatever you got, in the beginning there's these big rocks. You're gonna want to just take those bad boys out. It makes life really easy because in the Shadow Zone you're really weak because your stamina just drops super hard. However, if you can just take your weapon and chop. Get me out of here. There it is. You can just moid these guys crazy fast. It drops their key to nothing. Anything that's left, like this lady over here, hiding behind this pole. I see you for obvious reasons. You can't really hide behind poles the way you're built. I'm sorry, ma'am. But it drops their key to nothing, and then you can just kind of get some bonus hits. Anyone that's directly connected or close to that stone is dead. So it really helps out, especially in the beginning when you're not looking to get into a crazy amount of fights. You're just trying to be alive and learn the ropes. Could you not? Could you not? Oh, Jesus! The biggest mouth! Oh, God, I hate big mouths. Freaks me out like no one's business. Guys, do not watch Fight Night. Like the one from the 80s? Boy, let me tell you something. I'm gonna spoil this right now. If you haven't seen a movie from the 80s, I'm sorry, man. You're like 40 years too late. So, Fright Night at the very end, it's about a guy, and long story short, there's a vampire living to him next door. The details aren't important, but, you know, his girlfriend gets kidnapped because it looks like a girl that the vampire used to like have a thing for a long time ago, and she gets kidnapped, although she doesn't really look that similar. Anyway, not important. It was the 80s, and everyone kind of wore those shoulder pad jumpsuits anyway. So what happens is she gets kidnapped, and then turned into like a semi-vampire, because, you know, you got to be able to save her, or else who's going to watch that movie? But she turns around, and unlike every other vampire in this movie, she has a horrific gaping maw for a face, and it's just like, whoa, what happened here? Everyone else just has fangs, and she's like, man, it gets really rough. She has this giant mouth all of a sudden, just terrifying, turns around, spooked me out. It's clearly a prosthetic, but, you know, terrifying. And that's why I can't do big mouths. Yep. Horrific. Julia Roberts can't even watch her films. It's terrifying. I don't know why. Like, Julia Roberts, if you're watching and you're a huge Nioh 2 fan, it's nothing against you. Trust me. Your brother that's in that Dead or Alive movie, which is, you know, it ain't bad. Still, same thing. It's something about that bone structure, man. When you can open your mouth that wide like a snake, boy, it freaks me out. All right, on to new features. So, what you want to think of, this little guy right here, if you talk to him, he's pretty little greedy little dude. Don't swing on him, because you don't want to catch his hands. So you just want to go ahead and switch and give him a weapon you're not going to use. Yeah, that's a yokai weapon. Don't worry about it. Like, I'm probably not going to use this longbow here, so I'm going to drop it. So you drop it. This greedy little dude picks it up. And then, yeah, he makes some squeaks, throws you some new things, you take them, boom. Things trade hands, and you get lantern fruit. That's important later. So you want to hold on to that. Well, it's mostly important for before boss fights and things like that, so that's why I hold on to it. I'm that guy who, when you give an ether in the beginning of Final Fantasy VII, you look at it and it says restores MP, and I go, yeah, never gonna use that. I'm just gonna hide it in my back pocket the entire time. And then you're fighting Sephiroth towards the end, and it's like, well, I don't know, I could use a big old elixir, and you're just like, yeah, but there's only so many in the game, and I don't want to, you know, waste it. I better save it. And then you finish the game, and you never use the items they were gonna give you, but you know, that's fine. So lantern fruit, yeah, you want to save it. I'm never going to use it because I'm crazy. And I'm just going to keep doing things the hard way. But you do want to prepare for boss fights with those kinds of things. Since we're boosting our magic, I'm going to try being, you know, a little bit mystical with this playthrough. So I don't summon visitors right now because I always like to see what I can do. Boons, if you've beaten other parts of the game, you get some boons. So why not? Now, you earned it, so you gotta use it. I have this thing where I don't use pre-order bonuses, but you know, I earned it. I gotta use it. Like, I'm gonna pre-order this game because I'm a sucker for, you know, quality gameplay. Don't shortcut it, just use it, my bad. Anti-paralytic needle, set that as a shortcut. And then you want, that's about it. So yeah, open your boons, put them on. If you're like me, you're gonna feel a little bit guilty, but still use it. You earned it, Chief. Let's jump into skills. Magic, yeah. I like this one personally because it doesn't actually have an element, but it hurts yokai pretty hard, and then it brings you to this one right here, resistance. Yes, sir. Get it, use it. I believe in you, fam. These hints, I know you're like, why'd I listen to some random guy? Trust me on this. It's gonna help you out. And these two right here, the Yokai Within and the Dark Within, these are important. Don't shirk on these Yokai Within and Dark Withins. You want these. And then same thing. There's life right there. You just can't get it yet. But, you know, you can get life plus 50 if you boost this guy. I never use the barehanded attack because I'm, you know, a coward. But that's fine. I'm sure some of you strong guys out there you ain't afraid to lose your Amrita. You know what it's about. Yep. Oh God, I looked right at him. You ever just seen it coming at you and you're still just not moving? You're like, yeah, I see what you got there. And you still get wrecked. Just listen to him screaming at you. You know, there's God just throwing feces at me, you little monkey. There you go. Get switchblade. Man, this is a fluid weapon. The sword actually, oh my God. Get out of here. So these guys right here, they look terrifying and they have rocket arms, but this is feudal Japan. The bow is mighty. I missed. Ha! You too, I see. Boom. This explains why my KD is 0.3. So, you know, don't look me up on whatever Destiny site there is that tracks how hard I lose. I'm not ashamed of it. I know I'm bad. These guys. Oh, I hate these dudes. And I forgot to put my jutsus on. So, all you Naruto fans out there, I know, I don't have my hand sigils. That's fine. That's fine. Here, take that. I'm poisoned. God. Let me tell you something about Naruto. I loved it when I was, you know, younger. And I watched the entire first season just super hard when it didn't even have the proper dubs. I had to steal those subs. And, man, those hand signs, one of my buddies had those down like a boss, and I was super jealous of those finger dexterity that guy had. God. He was the coolest kid on the block for at least, like, I don't know, 3 weeks. Man. Just the coolest. Here we go. I didn't have the headband or anything, so, you know, I didn't go that deep into the rabbit hole. I won't judge if you did, but I just didn't have that kind of cash, or else I'm sure I would have had something. I'm not ashamed.